What is the key to improving skill mastery effectively and efficiently, especially in high-stakes environments like healthcare? One promising approach lies in behavioral fluency, a concept rooted in applied behavior analysis. At the International Conference on Gerontechnology 2024, Professor Alvin Ng, Associate Dean, Engagement and Internationalization of the School of Psychology at Sunway University, introduces the concept of behavior fluency and explains how it works through precision teaching. He also shares how this approach can be used in geriatric care to improve daily functioning for both healthcare workers and older adults.
Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you, Prof. Janet Wong, for inviting me. I'm very lucky in this sense to be here back in Hong Kong. Before I start talking about behavioral fluency, I thought I should just show you a bit about Sunway City. Yeah, that's Sunway University, as you can see there. My office is just on top of that building. We are next to a huge theme park, so students can come and have water slides. Nice place to learn, but lots of distraction, as you can see. We also have Sunway Medical Center that's just on that side. So the hospital is nearby to the university. In case we get sick, just go to the hospital very quickly. And where this is a resort hotel. All around, there's also a shopping center. So it's a pretty fun place to be. I live in Sunway as well, so I walk to work. I'm very spoiled. Sunway University is part of Sunway Group, which is a big conglomerate led by Sir Geoffrey Chia. He's our founder and chairman, been knighted by the King of England, which is why he's got a Sir. Sunway Group has got property, construction, mall, education, there's trading and manufacturing, quarrying, hospitality. We've got a number of hotels around Malaysia. There's the theme park that's called Sunway Lagoon. We also are into building materials, investment and financial services. There's real estate, and also digital. We are also connected with unis of Cambridge, Oxford, MIT, Arizona State University, and Lancaster University, which is our partner. Because our chairman wants us to be top-class, world-class university, so we want to work with the top-class people as well. In terms of numbers, we have 10,000 students. That's quite a lot for our small building. Our building can take up to 8,000 students, and now we've got 10,000 plus. So if you come to our campus, we are always full and bustling, lots of energy, and long queues because you have to queue up for the lifts. 87 academic programs. Most of the programs we have are partnered with Lancaster, meaning you pay for 1 degree, you get 2 scrolls, one from Sunway and one from Lancaster. We've got 8 academic schools, 18 research centers. We are also not-for-profit university, so all the money that we get comes into our salary. We make any profit, then that goes into our bonus. We work hard to get that bonus. The schools that we have is business, arts, engineering and technology, medical and life sciences, where I'm from. There's hospitality and service management, education, mathematical sciences, and American education, because Americans are a bit unique. There's also Sunway College that provides the pre-university programs that fit into the university. We have got a few colleges all over Malaysia. There's one in KL, Ipoh, Kuching, Johor Bahru. We also have Sunway International School. And these are some of our buildings. Now, to my talk proper. My topic is behavior fluency in healthcare setting and practice. So something to consider to apply to geriatric care, training, and also practice. In terms of gerontechnology, the technology that I'll be talking about to you is very cheap. Something that can save you money and also time. Since the last 2 days, we've been talking about issues when it comes to application of gerontechnology. Money and time are two very big issues. So while I'm not talking about technology per se, I'll be talking more about the approaches that leads to technology. So the objective of today is firstly to introduce to you this whole concept that is called behavior fluency building, using a method called precision teaching approach as a teaching or training tool, and to show how fluency building can empower methods that stimulate cognitive efficiency, meaning you will use less brain power so that you perform better, and behavioral mastery, where you are precise, you're accurate, and you do things quickly and well. To show how fluency building can be applied in education, training, and practice of healthcare professionals. Because The quicker we can train, the quicker we can have healthcare professionals out there serving the public. What is it? This is where I'm going to get all of you to do an exercise. Yeah, it's not just sitting there and watching me, but you get to do something as well. And those of you at home or wherever you are online, you can do this as well. So what I would like you to do is, if you've got pen and paper, even if you don't, you can be on your devices and type out XO as quickly as you can. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to write left to right. Okay, XO as quickly as you can. I'm going to time you. See, this is why this technology is cheap. You don't need to buy fancy new equipment. You just have to have a stopwatch, which is usually in your phone already, or a timer. All right, are you ready? On your marks, get set, go, fast, fighty, quick, right, fighty, go, come on, quick, right, 10 seconds only, stop. Now count how many you have. Each X and O is 1 unit, so how many units did you manage to complete in 10 seconds? Okay, you got the total. Now I want you to try again, and this time I want to beat your record, just by 1. Can you do that? Second round. On your marks, get set, go, fighty, go, quick, faster, quick, come on, you can do it, go, stop. Okay, count again. Anyone beat your record? Hands up. Yay! Woo! Okay, that's an example of fluency building exercise where we get you to focus on a very basic skill. In this case, X and O is a very basic skill for handwriting. This was part of my doctoral thesis. I investigated how using behavioral fluency methods can improve handwriting in children. And I found that even in older children, in teenagers, it can also work. And for those of you who want to help your students learn to write better so that during exams you can actually read their handwriting, you can do something like this. So the idea is you want to pick the simplest possible skill that is part of an overall composite skill. Handwriting is overall, but if you can write X and O nicely, because you've got diagonal lines, you've got circles, and that's how we write, it can lead to overall better improvement in handwriting. And the thing is, you only need very short time. 10 seconds is so quick. Right? You spend even more time in the toilet. So can you imagine 10 seconds a day, 3 times a day, where you just train that, you can improve overall the main skill. So that's the idea of fluency building using precision teaching. It is called precision teaching because you are precise. You want to do exactly this and you know exactly what to do. And what you need to do is to increase your performance within that 10 seconds. Once you cannot do any faster in 10 seconds, you want to increase that to 20 seconds, and then to 30 seconds, and then to 1 minute to also improve your endurance. So this was just to tell you a bit about history of my work with precision teaching. The reason why I wanted to address poor handwriting in children in school is because we know that if you don't write very well in school, especially in exams, you're not going to get very good marks. So I went into the literature to read, and I found that there was this intervention, just doing X and O's, improved not just handwriting, but they also improved grades. And I thought, wow, how can you improve grades just by improving handwriting? Partly is because the examiners can actually read what you write and give you a good grade because they can understand what you say. But if examiners don't understand what you say because your handwriting is so bad, I mean, we are humans as well. We've got emotions, we get upset that you cannot read, then you're not going to get very good marks. So I took year 1 and year 3 students. I went to the classroom and said to the teachers, give me your worst students with worst handwriting. And then I selected them, put them into 4 groups. One group only did fine motor movement training. So it's kind of like occupational therapy. One is to copy shapes, basic shapes. So one is to copy letters, and then word copying, like as fast as they can in 10 seconds, each time they do training. And then at the end of the week, after 3 days of training per week, I will test them on a 1-minute writing of the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That is a sentence that contains all the letters in the alphabet. So what I found was the group of students who did fine motor training only, they did this and this. Occupational therapists here would know, just improve their fine motor. They were the ones who improved their overall handwriting the quickest because you target the basic skills. So intervention group versus control group didn't improve as quickly, but intervention group, they improved. All of them that did fluency building training improved. And not just in their skills, they also improved in behavior. This was what the teachers reported to me, and even the parents said, wow, they're so much better at home now. They're more confident, they do better at school, their grades have gone up, they're making better friends because they're getting scolded less by their teachers for not writing well. Because of that, they also get more confident. And I thought, wow, this is quite powerful just by doing something so simple. It's also a way of gamification. I'm hoping that this is something you can apply in older adults, part of rehab. So the keywords, if you want to read more about precision teaching, generative instruction, behavior fluency, and fluency building. The whole idea of generative instruction is you instruct yourself. It's like self-learning. Once you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. It's something that I'm also doing for myself. Just about 2 months ago, I had a mild stroke. So if you see me not speaking very well, that's because I'm still recovering from the stroke. My whole left side is kind of weak. And in terms of occupational therapy, I've been using the fluency building method on myself, like timing myself how quickly I can tap the chopstick so I can eat again. So that's generating my own instruction. So what is this thing called behavior fluency? It's systematically, that means step by step, targeting and training component behavior skills towards overall mastery. Mastery means you can do it automatically without thinking. You're so quick, it becomes second nature to you. And the focus is on speed and accuracy. You want to do it as quickly as possible, really, really fast. And you have a target that you're trying to meet. You want to increase the number of correct responses, meaning doing your O's and X's nicely. And you want to decrease the amount of mistakes. So at the end of the day, you are very precise. You're very, very accurate in what you want to do. And this is something you will want in your healthcare professionals, right? If you've got a procedure to do, you want to make sure everything is 100%. So a mastery of component skills leads to overall mastery in your overall skills. So training that uses precision teaching, meaning you have a target, you know exactly what you're going for, and as soon as you perform, you get feedback, you know how well you did. And this is something that in my rehab, I also went through. My occupational therapist got me to strengthen my hand by, there's this puck, like a round thing that's connected to an iPad where there's this game I have to play. If there's a circle that comes to certain signal, I need to press it to get a point. So each time I perform, there's like a total points that I get. And my target is always to beat that record in like only 30 seconds. So every time I go for rehab, I will do that to strengthen, and as gamification, I get more motivated to want to do it. It's more fun. So you get feedback immediately because you know your scores. Fluency or mastery. Fluency basically means mastery, you're fluent. Normally fluency is applied to speech, but here we're talking about behavioral fluency. You can do it without thinking. Kind of like if you're able to put on makeup while driving, you are fluent in putting on makeup. But I would really discourage you from doing it because you might get into an accident. So fluency is assumed when the skill is automatic. You don't need to think about it, you can do it. Just like now if you're typing or writing, it is something you are fluent in. You don't have to think about how to type, where your finger should be. You can just do it. But how do we get mastery? Normally through lots of practice. In fluency building, the practice is with speed in a very short time, so that you spend very little time every day practicing. And after a while, you get better at it. That's the bit that helps you reduce time when it comes to doing any training. So it's repeated practice drills within a short time limit, focusing on the simplest component skill of the overall skill. And the focus is on speed and accuracy. You want to do it really fast and make sure it is accurate. You have clear targets and objective measurements with feedback. So the outcome we want is automaticity or fluency, and also known as mastery, doing without thinking because you're automatic. In terms of maths, can you do the bit on the left side? It's quite easy, right? You can just calculate like that. But what about the one on the right side? Ooh, a bit harder. Why? Because you haven't practiced enough for you to know how to do calculation. So examples of fluency applied normally in sports. Why is it that, when you go for sports training, you do a lot of drills? Same behavior again and again and again and very quickly. Because by having good skills in every component skill, you become a much better player overall. Because you learn piano or any musical instruments, you tend to practice and practice drills, so that you can play blindfolded. If you can play blindfolded, that means you are really good at what you do. You are a master. That's texting while driving. Of course, no, please don't do it. It just shows that, you may think you can master it, but still quite dangerous. I purposely show you pictures of Bruce Lee here because, as some of you may know, he used to be a cha-cha champion. If you are good at dancing, you are probably also going to be quite good at martial arts. The skill can transfer across. So mastery also means whatever skill you're good at can also transfer to something else that's similar. And the kind of equipment you have, easy. You need something that can count down or count to 10. The timer, paper, very cheap. Recording sheet, you want to record down all the data of performance. And here's the formula. In order for you to know whether you have fluency, you have achieved fluency, is you need to have retention. You retain the skill. You can do the skill for a long time, endurance. And you can perform with stability, meaning you can do it anywhere. With people disturbing you, you can still do it. And then you can apply. You can actually apply the skill. Plus, you don't just apply, you can be creative with the skill. So creativity is where your skill that you have mastered in can be transferred to something else. And times 2, you can do 2 times faster. That's always target. So whatever record you got just now, I want you to target. Can you do it 2 times faster than you were able to do it before? And most of the time, it is impossible. There's no way you can do 2 times faster, but that's okay because you want to really get better and better. And the whole idea of this is so that you don't put a ceiling over your performance. Compare with school. School, you get grades, A, B, C. When you get A, that's as high as you can go, right? But does it mean you are a master of your craft? Not necessarily. You're a master if you can get A and you can do things really quickly, better than other people. Now, how would you want to apply behavioral fluency in your area of work? For example, as part of Gerontechnology. I'll show you a case study later. So the benefits. Those of you who were doing that exercise just now, how did you feel as you were rushing? You said 1, 2, 3, go. You're like, yeah? It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. It's also time efficient because you do it very quickly. Lightweight because it's all there. The paper and pen is lightweight, it's not very heavy. It's fun for everyone, exciting. When I went into the schools to do this exercise with the students as part of my research, the kids were so excited each time I came to school. And some of their friends who were in the classroom felt left out because they're not having as much fun. It's exciting, it's high energy, it's self-rewarding because as soon as you beat your record, you're like, wow, I can do it. And you want to try again. Quite a few of the kids came to me each time they finished one session and said, can I do it again? I'm like, no, just 3 times for today. Oh, it's so fun, I want to do it. Can I do it at home? I said, no, don't do it at home, there's no cheating. But they like it so much that they really want to practice. So that's self-rewarding, you get immediate feedback, you know your performance. And it's faster learning because you are learning with speed. It's also motivating because it's high energy. And because it's motivating, it's empowering, you know what to do. You can generate the instructions yourself. So what some of these kids did is when they went back to class, they taught their classmates how to use this method and they all had fun. And they did it for other things as well. It improves confidence. It forces collaboration because you want to celebrate others and you want to push, and then they start supporting each other. And because of this, it also improves memory. Once you do something a lot and quickly, it just goes in. And this is where training can come in. So one of the things that I was going to share with you as part of using fluency building in healthcare professional training, for example, let's take diagnosis. Imagine you've got, these are my name cards, but if you've got flashcards where you got a picture of, say, for example, a lesion on the skin and you want to tell whether it's skin cancer or not. Picture here, It says, cancerous, answer to the back. Imagine your training is, each card you open is the picture, and you do say the answer. And you say it fast as possible. Every day, 1 minute. We use the SAFMEDS, SAFMEDS method. SAF is say all fast, minute in 1 minute. Every day, shuffle. It's always random when you test yourself. So it was found that there was this study, this paper on the left, the use of precision teaching in enhancing medical students' dermatological diagnostic skills using flashcards. What they did was, every day, 1 minute, test themselves. Do as fast as possible, see how many cards they can go through correctly. So using this method was found to be able to train medical students in a much shorter time than usual, because they were able to accurately pinpoint the correct diagnosis within a short time. Even in simulation, the second paper, the simulation-based education and precision teaching methods improve pediatric trainees' behavioural fluency in performing lumbar puncture. Scary, isn't it? But in simulation, not in real life. You wouldn't want to quickly puncture people using this method. So the whole point here is, if you can get training done quicker than usual, why not? It saves you time. It gets you trained up quicker than usual, and you get people going out there and being able to function as professionals. In terms of gerontechnology, getting older people to move quicker as well by training them to do this, I believe can also help bring up the energy level when it comes to any form of intervention or rehab therapy. So in summary, you want to be speed smart. You want to focus on being fast, being accurate, so that it brings about automaticity and creativity. So take home points basically, start small and simple, train up very quickly and with speed, increase endurance from like say 10 seconds to 20 seconds or 30 seconds, so that you're better able to do it longer. That was also part of my occupational therapy, not just being able to do something, but being able to do something for a slightly longer time. Make sure you record the performances. It is data driven, and the data is fed back to the performer immediately. Every single achievement you want to celebrate, because your focus is actually on the ability of being able to do something rather than the grades that you get. Because if you apply this to school, we hope that students don't just want to study for grades, but they want to study for being able to apply what they've learned. And then being able to expand this to transferable skills. You want to also empower learners to be able to do it themselves for any other kinds of skills. Can you imagine having the elderly in elderly care homes learning a certain method, and then they start applying it on themselves and maybe to other friends as well? Can be a very good sense of empowerment there. And that's where you get confidence. Yeah, I mean, the drawing is just a joke, because you know how there's a saying, the early bird gets the worm, but if the worm knows Kung Fu, then you better be careful. That's it basically. I hope that's been helpful. That's my QR code to get my contact, and that's my email. Thank you.